Hey YouTube, Warbles on a lot here, and today we're going to take a bit of a dump run because a few people have asked me what do I do with my domestic household garbage, and my kitchen bin is full and the wheelie bin can't take any more, and the 44-gallon drum or 200-litre drum full of empty beer bottles, coffee bottles, cordial bottles of all kinds, as well as sauce bottles, and also honey mead bottles. Today being the 20th of April, and the last dump run was on the 2nd of February. So 1, 2 and 3/4 for me to generate a single wheelie bin full of kitchen garbage and rather more than 200 litres of empty bottles. Some people dig a big hole on their property and bury their refuse in the hole. Me, I get to pay rates, something like $630 a year on my 100 acres, 40 hectares, and pretty much the only service that council provides me is they maintain council rubbish dumps. Now, there's one at Deepwater, and there's one in Glen Innes, and I think there's one at Red Range. Don't know if there's probably still one at Emerville. I go to the dump at Deepwater, and if I was to go to the dump in town at Glen Innes, I would have to pay, or at least have an argument every time I went there, because the people inside the municipal area get their rubbish collected weekly by the council's contractor. Therefore, anything they personally take to the dump, they have to pay excess garbage fees on, and they get their trailers weighed going in and out and all the rest of it. Out in what used to be the Shire area before amalgamation, if you live in the Shire and you're paying rates and you haven't got a garbage collection service, you just rock up to the dump when the dump is open, and it's not always open, but you rock up when it's open on Thursdays or Saturdays or Sunday, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Thursday, 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Saturday, 10 a.m. and 12 noon on Sunday. And then, for the price of a 70-kilometre round trip, I can dump my rubbish for free. Or at least, it's free if you happen to have a trailer. Road registered and street legal. Even if it's never, ever been inspected for roadworthiness in its 27-year career. Okay, so challenge part 1, line 1, shall be to levitate a 44-gallon drum 4/5 full of glass bottles, maybe 18 inches off the ground. And to do that, we sort of walk like an Egyptian. Okay, here's how it's done. And after that, the garbage is moving. Not as silly as I look, eh? So, after tying it on, there merely remains the job of shifting the empty beer bottles, which would not fit in the 44-gallon drum, and load them into the Forester, where, as you can see, it all fits rather neatly, even under the luggage cover. So off we go, off we go, off we go to the Deepwater dump. And with time in hand, I think I might actually have a bit of a turbocharged V8 juice. TLAR, that looks about right. And now for the vintage period chilled V8 juice. Cute, isn't it? Uses no electricity, no coal, no gas, no oil, no fuel. But 12.8, 13 degrees. And so, before I depart, I get to sit and sip my turbocharged V8 juice. Have a quiet little pipe. And enjoy the midday news. Should be on about now. I do like having my watch run to time.
With ABC News.
Right, so one of the benefits of procrastination is you get to have time to think and remember the stuff that you would have otherwise forgotten, like the old chimney and flue, which I replaced with stainless steel in an earlier video. So, off we go, off we go, off we go. And because the sunfoil's charging, even under the dust and the cloud, that you can confidently 13.4 volts resting before turning the ignition on. 13.2 volts, still charging. Engine started, and as soon as the engine started, the battery's fully charged. Okay, time to set sail. Journey commenced. You get a better view if I take my bills off the dashboard. Well, the trailer is trailing along the neighbour's driveway onto Yarraford Road. Somebody's playing with sheep. Onto the New England Highway, headed north. Up there you might just barely be able to see the Hogues Mountain Optus Tower, which gives me my YouTube connection. Full telephoto up there on the horizon. Look real hard between the trees and you might just barely see it. Try that. Very tricky shot to organise while being overtaken by an open-top sports car. Life's never boring, even on a dump run. Coming up on the village of Dundee, which we go straight through, at 100 kilometres an hour, so don't blink or you'll miss it. Here we go, camera to camera. This is a point-to-point speed checking system. They have magnetic sensors in the road. Anytime a heavy vehicle goes over it, it takes a photograph of the number plate. 100 kilometres down the road, there's another one. Get the same number plate within an hour, somebody's been going too fast, eh? So, yeah, that was Deepwater. Sorry, Dundee. Oopsie, my bad. Somebody's blown a tyre on their speedboat trailer. Some bits of this are a very picturesque, quaint little drive. We even get a little old railway bridge, relic of the days when we used to have trains up here. See? And here we see the township of Deepwater, where I'm going to be turning left onto the Emerville Road. And I'm in pretty good time, because although the dump's theoretically open till 2 PM, if you're not there by 10 minutes to the hour, he won't let you in the gate. More picturesque driving through the bush. And here we are at the turn off to the Deepwater Dump, which has but a short drive from the bitumen. Quite a pleasant little location. And I'm kind of supposed to stop here. But I know what I'm doing and I know where I'm going, so I will come over to here. There we go. That's the empty beer bottles accounted for. So now the flues, they go onto the metal pile. Sadly, I haven't got time to load that tower. And here we have the pit, which sort of moves around the block of ground, and everybody is supposed to throw their stuff between the flags, as it were. See? There is, in fact, a system of sorts, which sort of works like this. Push the wheelie bin to the pit, tip it over, and add one's rubbish to the waterfall. Look, that's a tomato vine down there feeding a willy wagtail. We waste a bloody lot, does our society. Down there's pumpkins, more of them over there. Now, see, there he is, up at the gate, waiting to lock it behind me. So, can't scavenge anything, can you? Off we go, off we go, off we go. There you go. As you see, he's closing the gates behind me. So, heading back towards Deepwater now, and as you can see, we've had some pretty destructive downbursts coming out of clouds. Here's this old bloke harvesting a bit of firewood. A lot of trees all got knocked down all in one night. You get that? Out there in the sunlit patch is pretty much sort of the long view of Deepwater. That one shows a bit more of the metropolis. And here we are approaching the highway. Very picturesque in the autumn with the poplars. Deepwater Main Street on the way in. And now we have the Deepwater Main Street from the other end. And it looks like that. Past their little industrial estate, down the main street, back up through the poplars, and out of town. But I am not going back along the highway, I'm going back via Rangers Valley, on the dirt road, where the countryside is picturesque, and you get to drive slow enough to see it, where you have to go slow, otherwise you run straight out of the road. And if you go too fast, you miss seeing things like the famous marijuana mailbox. I reckon you'd probably notice Ranges Valley Dam, largest privately owned dam in the Southern Hemisphere, so they say. My place is over there. So anyway, shout out to VB Ed who asked me to make this video. Ciao!